to the channel, and thank you to any new members to the channel. Always grateful, always a gratitude mindset. Shout out to everybody jumping on in. Once again, guys, not a financial advisor, not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong, but the Blue Foundation is always right. This is the worst show with the best community, and I'm so grateful to the best community jumping on in here. I want to give a shout out to Crypto Banker SHX. So much gratitude, and thank you so much, man, for having me on your X Spaces earlier today. Wish we could have gone on for longer because, definitely, just a great conversation with you, my man, and so grateful for all the new followers on our X. Our X, if you guys are tuning in on YouTube, is at G_DLT1. That's how you can find our X. We know the shadow ban is real on both of our platforms here. So any bit of light that shines in definitely helps us keep growing. Shout out to you, El Prey, for jumping on in. Happy Saturday to you. XRP Hustle Hard jumping on in. Happy Sunday from New Zealand. Already Sunday over there. 2026 going to be a transformative year, without a doubt. The year of the sun. A lot of truths. Hey, the truth of who you are as an individual will also be revealed in 2026. I mean, whatever you want to say about that, you try to live your most authentic life that you possibly can. But in 2026, apparently the vibes, the planets, the astrology, the spiritual stuff, the hell, even in terms of physical stuff, probably in terms of business or personal life, all of this is going to be impacted by what goes on in 2026. 2026, we're looking forward to with excitement. But remember, it's a lot of changes that are going to be going down. It's the year of the sun. The sun could be affecting us in many, many different ways, other than, there could be positive. Obviously, we want to always look at it in a positive way, but a lot of changes are going to be going down. And that means, the powers that be are going to have to be making a lot of changes to begin the flip of the switch in the year of 2026. And then we go into the year of judgment in 2027. Then we go to the year of the world in 2028. And then by 2029, we go on a new journey. The year of the fool, we go back to zero, right? The fool is the zero number in the 22 arcana, major arcana of the tarot. And then 2030 and beyond, we begin a new journey. The magician, the tools at hand, right? What tools do we have at hand now? The new tools that we're going to have, the new AI tools, the new digital assets, right? Running the system, right? Central Wisconsin checking in. Countdown has begun. What's up, Nathan Stevens? Dude, Nathan Stevens, we got to give you a blue wrench, my man. You've been obviously supporting us, even leaving comments after the streams. I'm so grateful for that, man. Thank you so much. That really helps us out with the algorithm there. Shout out to Ski Mask Citizen jumping on in. Guys, I got a quickie, Saturday quickie of deep reds for you guys to go over. Obviously, our main focus, and a lot of people are against us on this. They ask me, why do you just keep talking about these particular cryptos? They're already big, or, they already have a community with them, or, they're not really major surprises, man. Please give us some really deep gems. I mean, outside of the Big Star and XX Network and let's see, what else? SGB, Block V, what else? Tibber, right? I mean, if you guys don't think we're not shouting out some low caps, all right, then, I don't know what else you expect. And hell, you can suggest to me some other ones that we should be talking about. But once again, I have a very strict criteria. We've announced that, we had a fun deep red summer of shouting out every crypto in the deep reds to set ourselves in position for. But now we got a strict criteria. We're sticking with X cryptos, ones that can provide decentralized recovery. This is the biggest criteria, in my opinion. If you want trillions of dollars in volume or trillions of dollars in your market cap as a digital asset, you need to be able to provide decentralized recovery to these institutions, to these banks, and to the 99% of users who have no clue how to use crypto whatsoever. You got to be able to provide a system of decentralized recovery where they can recover their assets in case anything were to go down in terms of losing their assets or a mistake in a transaction, especially if you're a bank, right? Decentralized recovery is filling in all the missing pieces that Web3 has so far, right? Also helps with identity, right? It helps with digital identity, and we Digital identity is going to be a massive thing. We know central bank digital currencies are going to be a massive thing. Right now, we're against central bank digital currencies. Right now, we're against digital identity. Unfortunately, the circumstances that are coming in the next few years or so, or a handful of years, are going to be pushing us to have no choice but to accept central bank digital currency and digital identity. It's just going to be the way of the future from there on out, because for our security, for our safety, right? That's always what they say. It's for your security, for your safety, and hell, we're going to demand for our security and for our safety. We'll sacrifice a little bit of freedoms in order for make sure everybody is safe, make sure our family is safe, make sure the children growing up are safe. Do it for the children, as they love to say, right? My JRGC, what's up? Good to see you. Ski Mask Citizen in the house. Jagram in the house. Ski Mask Citizen dropping the Tibber frog heads. Gotta love it. Hopping around like little frogs, without a doubt. Very excited for the AI agent future that Tibber is. Tibber, you know, looking to lay the groundwork for not only identity for AI agents and users, but also for the future of payments and many other things, right? Very excited to see what Tibber's going to do. Definitely need some clarity a little bit from Patsy if he's in here today. Definitely want to just get a heads up. Is it a blockchain? So, you know, I'm interested to know, is Tibber an actual blockchain, or is it beyond blockchain? Is it something else other than blockchain? Because we know blockchain is the future. We know blockchain is going to be the thing that's, you know, kind of helping save our butts from this cyber event that's going to be happening. It's specifically a blockchain that will be doing so. But hey, if it's beyond blockchain and it provides other use cases, Tibber needs these other assets. It needs the micropayments cryptos like an XRPL, like a Solana, like an Ethereum, like a Base, right? Or, you know, some of these XLM. It needs those in order to do its AI agent thing, without a doubt. L Pray, everybody hoping Patsy comes in to, you know, they love our little conversations, our little back and forth. Guys, I have nothing against Tibber. Once again, I have nothing against it. I think it's going to be an awesome AI agent crypto, and it's in the deep reds today. It's in the deep reds today. It's right across the board. 17 cents right now for Tibber. I purchased some Tibber just recently, earlier today. And then we also got some Tezos at 48 cents. We got some IOTX at 008. We got some, you know, we're setting up for some more of the Big Star, man. Big Star is at 0005 right now. And if you guys don't know what I mean by Big Star, I mean XPX, I mean Serious Chain. But, you know, I try to keep my mouth shut on it because, you know, a lot of people are kind of, you know, they get a sense of my excitement, and then it makes them kind of go, you know, I'll never tell you guys what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, but they get a sense of my excitement for it, and they think I'm over investing. So then they start over investing in it. And then once again, dude, this is just a crypto that checks every freaking box. Don't get me wrong. It checks every freaking box, and it's in the 000s. But once again, it could be in the 000s for many reasons. It's either they're trying to keep it out of sight, out of mind, not have you think about it, even though it won a CBDC tech sprint in 2022, right? And then went into shadow mode, silence, right? And then all of a sudden starts creeping on up. But once again, you know, we can still have a major impact if this thing is the powerhouse that it is, right? Our $5 to $10 is probably enough to have a major impact on this future, because they're trying so hard to just keep it out of sight, out of mind, and have nobody thinking about it. But that gets people going like, oh man, well, I'm going to throw more in there if you feel so confident about it, if you're so excited about it. It's like, no, because then that's the worst strategy. Then you're over investing, and then any little bit of volatility, or if it just decides to drop out and says it's not doing its thing anymore, then you're freaking screwed, right? I don't even over invest in this thing, but I love being able to chip away. I can get thousands of them easily for $5, right? $10, $20, right? But I'm not freaking, whatever, I'm investing money that I can afford to lose ultimately in that digital asset. I am very, looking forward to what it could possibly do, as well as XRP, XLM, SHX, XDC. XRP, XLM, and XDC were also with that crypto in that CBDC tech sprint of 2022, which is really big. Quant was in another problem statement, right? So QNT, keeping an eye out for QNT. FLR and SGB, dude. FLR is at a penny right now. It's a Federal Byzantine Agreement smart contracts platform. And SGB is at 002 right now. Songbird right across the board. Right? CDK, what's up, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you. You killed it on that Spaces earlier, spitting all the facts. Zbeck heavy hitter. Oh, dude, yeah, we saw you in the chat there, man. Heavy hitter. I appreciate you jumping in on this YouTube chat, man, and so grateful and just living a life of gratitude, you guys. We know we're shadow banned. We know that we could probably be doing different things to try to make ourselves more money by streaming and stuff like that. But once again, that's, the elite want to leave the world behind. And I'm just trying, and, we're all just trying. The community here is trying to just try to bring as many people into the future as we possibly can and not leave the world behind. And, for right now, I don't want people jumping through hoops to get access to this information, because I honestly just want as many people to be able to get in on this future as possible. And once again, I am always wrong, so I could be totally wrong about everything that I'm saying, but that's why we have, right? You guys can tell me, hey, gee, you're kind of out of bounds on this or whatnot. That's the beauty of, humanity and conversation and discussion, right? It's not like, oh, you automatically disagree, you don't want to hang out in here anymore. It's like you can spit your truth as well, and we can all learn from each other, man. It's I know AI has got us expecting different things out of people, right? It's like, well, you're not responding like my AI does. You're not freaking logical enough, man. Or you know what? Like, I'm just Xing you out of my life. I don't freaking agree with anything that you're freaking saying whatsoever. I don't even want to see your face, man. Like, that type of thing is, very negative thinking, very, just primitive thinking in a way. And, we're here to work together, man. We're all humans. There's going to be a whole new economy shaping up where AI and machines are going to be joining in. It's more than just 8 billion people that are going to be banked or on chain. We're talking about 8 billion people plus the billions upon billions of machines that are also going to be joining into this economy, the AIs that are going to be joining into this economy. There's going to be trillions upon trillions of dollars in this market. We are so early still, and I'm not losing sight of that. I have been zooming out. I am looking at the macro view. We are still so damn early. We are still so damn lucky to be chipping away, right, with money we can afford to lose, never over investing, because we know they like to play mind games. They don't know how to play mind games with somebody who just starts throwing in little bits at a time, because they're trying to get you to panic sell, right? They want you to over invest, so then you panic sell when they dip it and mess with your, wait, it's creating a new low. It shouldn't be. It should be respecting the trend. What the hell's going on? The charts don't matter in such a small market cap of a market, guys. We are in such early days. It's such a baby of a market. $3 trillion is still too small to try to figure out the trends, try to play it like the stock market and all that type of stuff. All I know, if it's in the deep reds, I'm chipping away with money that I can afford to lose. They don't know how to fight against that. They don't know, because they're like, oh, well, let's pump it and hope he cashes out, or let's crash it and hope he panic sells. But I'm not going to panic sell, because I'm investing money that I can afford to lose for the long term. Right? So that's my strategy. I'm not saying everybody else could do that strategy. It takes a lot of discipline to do that strategy, because I know a lot of y'all, especially since you love crypto so much like I do, you guys get that FOMO energy. You start going, oh my God, look how red it is. I'm just going to go all in, and then it gets redder. And it's like, wait, I didn't even think that could be possible. How is that even possible? Right? How can they make it even redder? Right? Now I don't have any dry to make my $5 count even more. Right? So, once again, I'm not trying to give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong. Shout out to Heavy Hitter in the house. What's up, man? CDK, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody jumping in for a quickie deep red session on a Saturday. Let's keep going, guys. We got IOTX at 008, negative 69% down, 10 billion supply. They're building hardware. They're building sensors. We know sensors are going to be game-changing in the future. Things like VeChain, IOTA, IOTX, measurable data token, MDT. Right? The macro data and micro data economy, anything to do with data is going to be massive. The data integrity of DAG. DAG is at a penny right now, negative 53% down, 2.6 billion supply. Love and Constellation and DAG. They also can provide decentralized recovery. I've been talking about how important decentralized recovery is. I think we are literally the only ones that talk about how important and big of a game changer that decentralized recovery is. Every other account or YouTube or I really don't see as many talking about how important this decentralized recovery stuff is. They formed a decentralized recovery alliance in 2024. This was basically a preview of some of the chosen ones for this future economy, right? The founding four members of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance are HBAR, Algorand, XRP, and ADA. Those are the founding four. Now you have other members that have joined the fold as well. You have Constellation, DAG as part of it. You got BSL that's within the HBAR ecosystem, so it makes sense that they would be part of that, right? If you're within those ecosystems of those four, you have the ability to provide decentralized recovery because you're a layer 2 or, building on top of some of these other layer 1 projects or, infrastructure projects of the founding four. You also have Oasis Rose. Rose is currently at a penny, man. I got blue roses all over this freaking blue castle, right? 10 billion supply for a privacy-focused, AI-focused, AI agent-focused digital asset. We know AI agents are going to be big. Hell, Tibber could be running on top of Rose, right? Tibber could be utilized by Rose, right? Or integrated with Rose. I like Tibber as the AI agent of choice there. The Upsider, right? The UP token, Up, is what, in the double zeros range? That's building on DAG. That's building on base, man. That's the AI agent of choice for the Constellation ecosystem. I can't wait to see what the AI agent for the XRPL ecosystem is going to be, what the AI agent for the XLM ecosystem is going to be. Hell, I'm sure we could start searching for those to see if there's already one underneath the weeds, right, that they're trying to keep out of sight, out of mind. But we're like, oh crap, this could be the future AI agent for this specific layer 1 or layer 0 token. So keeping an eye out on that. XRP and XLM, front end and back, the future of the back end and front end of the financial system. And, there's going to be many others. It's a multi-ledger future. People are sleeping on interledger protocol, ILP. If you don't know about ILP, this crypto is literally the future of the most in the lead, in my opinion, in terms of providing instant payments, frictionless payments across borders, across legacy systems, across blockchains, across everything. Interledger protocol is one of the most slept on projects just because there's no dedicated token to it, even though we think XRP is going to be the standard, digital asset that's used for conversion automatically across the interledger protocol. This thing is the underlayer to the internet protocol. It has a massive presence in the W3C. If you don't know what the W3C is, that is the World Wide Web Consortium. That is basically every company right now. Every company has an online presence of some sort, especially the major ones, Amazon, Google, Apple, right? Those are like the top 3 that I could think of right off the top of my head. They already have implementations with interledger protocol. They already work alongside. There's something called the Internet Policy Foundation or something like that. Interledger protocol has a heavy presence in, communicating, being able to dictate what's going to be the new standard for the internet of value, right? So interledger protocol, everybody's sleeping on it because it's currency agnostic, right? But it is the one that has been chosen at the only ISO 20022 hackathon that ever existed, right? Jesus, way, the life, Christ is king. Without a doubt, my dude. Without a doubt. I mean, say it again, Jesus. Say it again, my dude. Say it again. Say it again. Appreciate you jumping on in. Hey, anyway, you can DM me. Would love to do spaces with you, brother. Hey, heavy hitter, follow. If you've already followed me, I'll follow you back, man, and then we can try to do set up a spaces, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, anything to help us, shine some light in the shadow band would definitely be very helpful. Appreciate that, heavy hitter. But yeah, just if you already follow me, just unfollow and then follow again, so it's like one of my recent notifications, and then I can follow you. But anyways, let's keep moving forward. Yeah, interledger protocol, ILP. This was created by the first CTO of XRPL, Stefan Thomas. Right? Stefan Thomas is basically the reason Bitcoin even became popular. He released a video educating the masses on Bitcoin. It was around like 2015, 2014. All of a sudden, the Bitcoin craze and investment craze started going really, to, that's when we started to get our first major bull cycle of Bitcoin, right? He leaves Bitcoin along with David Schwartz, and they go work on the XRPL to create a better Bitcoin, one that doesn't involve mining, one that doesn't use excessive energy and electrical resources that we could be using on other things to help the planet, like AI development, creation of data centers. That's probably where the governments are going to want to go with it, because they're going to probably do a major policy of like anything that is wasteful, we are going to be penalizing for. And electricity, over usage of electricity to just mine a digital currency that we have no clue who the original creators are for, that is mined a majority has been mined in China to begin with, right? And now it's moving on over to the US because, of course, the US, China is starting to ban it. You have the US starting to mine. I mean, US is kind of just behind, man. There's other digital assets that outgain and have more value than Bitcoin anyway. Once again, I'm not going to make assumptions that the creators of Bitcoin had good intentions to begin with. Everybody else could do so. I'm not going to make an assumption. I need to know who the creators are. I need to know, what their intentions were ultimately for the tech, right? I don't want to just wait dude, there's a possibility in the future that we do get revealed who Satoshi is, and it can make us very unhappy. It could surprise us, right? It can make people sell off majorly if they found out it was a freaking dictator of some country or so, or the CIA that ended up creating Bitcoin, right? So, that I just rather know who they are. I just rather know who the creators are. They're the ones who can talk to the governments, educate them on blockchain. They're the ones that can talk to the banks, to the regulators, educate them on the blockchain, educate them on how to implement it, how to do upgrades with it without doing a hard fork, right? Governments and banks aren't going to want to get a blockchain that requires a hard fork to do an upgrade, right? This is why we want some of these Web 3.0 or this blockchain 3.0 type of cryptos, the ones that can provide as close to a holistic full stack solution, right? That's what we want to be jumping on, right? What's up, Davey? HBAR, very excited for HBAR, without a doubt. The financial advice has arrived. Good evening, everyone. What's up, Base Patsy? Dude, we were waiting for you, man. I was just giving a shout out to Tibber in our deep reds. 17-cent Tibber, man. I accumulated some earlier today. Very excited. Even though it's not a blockchain, I'm excited for the future of Tibber and its utility and the utility of the Tibber token. It does need other blockchains, it seems like, to be able to do its thing. So very excited that it's going to be working in an interoperable future, that is going to be a multi-ledger future. It's not going to be the one to rule them all, unfortunately, and it's going to be probably very hard for regulators to approve of it. If it wants to do trillions of dollars in volume, I assume you've already said it's going to be like a future 55 billion market cap, which is fantastic because of how low of a market cap it is. But I would like to see it go to trillions of dollars in market cap. And how does it go to trillions of dollars in market cap? By working with regulators, by working with these institutions, by educating them on implementation, right? Not just only Robinhood and, some other, big names like Coinbase and, things like that, right? Maybe PayPal is probably connected with them, right? It's got to be more than just the payment providers and the, big tech guys. It needs to be the regulators, the institutions, and the banks. I'm looking for the cryptos that are going to get trillions upon trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in volume, daily volume, going through them. But I didn't mind accumulating some Tibber in the deep reds just for your sake, my man, to keep riding that freaking ride with you. It is the top premier AI agent. It seems like, hell, it's a layer 0 crypto, it seems like. Or, I don't know if it's a blockchain. You could tell me if it is a blockchain. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Is it a blockchain? Because we know from the NTT data videos, they specifically say blockchain will be the changing force in the future, right? So they didn't say, a layer 0 that's not a blockchain would be, but hey, in terms of a guaranteed thing, you might have found as close to a guaranteed thing that can possibly make some filthy freaking gains. And I know that's what you're looking for ultimately in your investment. So Base Patsy, it is not a blockchain. It's essentially a protocol. Okay, that's fine. I'm down with the protocol, but I would love for it to be a blockchain, man. That would be great if it was. But if it works beyond blockchain, hell, if it's more of a massive opportunity than what blockchain is, then that's all well and good. But it does need blockchains, right? It does need blockchains like the XRPL. It needs blockchains like the XLM ecosystem. It needs blockchains like the Solana ecosystem. But it's going to be the sovereign agent right, of the AI agents. It's going to be communicating for users. There's going to be a ton of utility going through Tibber and the Rebita Capital platform or protocol, as you call it. Very, very excited. Blockchains will be plugging into it, which is awesome. It makes it a necessity, right? It makes it absolutely necessary to use. So very excited to see what Tibber is going to be doing. If anybody wants to put their frog heads in the chat for the base Patsy, he has arrived. He's bringing the Tibber alpha to y'all. He's bringing the Tibber education to us all. Much love. Yeah, blockchains are going to need AI agent representations, right? That's why we were talking just earlier about, Tibber. We think that's going to be the leader of the AI agent wave, without a doubt. I totally see that with you, Base Patsy. And then we have Upsider for DAG, right? Get used to seeing blockchains choosing dedicated AI agents for their blockchains, or eventually having to succumb to maybe, hey, if Tibber is the way, Tibber's the sovereign operator, then you're going to see a lot of blockchains wanting to plug into Tibber's liquidity or what its, utility of what it's going to be able to provide. And that's going to be massive for the opportunities of what Tibber is going to be bringing. The great thing with what Patsy, and I'm starting to see what he's talking about here. He's trying to find a guaranteed gain, right? There's not really many guaranteed gains, if any, in the crypto space whatsoever. He's trying to find as close to a for sure thing as you possibly can in terms of being able to make some gains in this bull cycle. And Tibber, now at 17 cents, basically red across the board, loving it as a deep red. I accumulated some today. Very excited. We already had a bag, but you know what? Got to add a little bit more to the bags just for freaking Patsy out there. Shout out to you, my man. Tibber isn't competing with any blockchain. Yep, that's the wonderful thing, man. It's there to support blockchains. It's there for blockchains to integrate it and for blockchains to, the key word, utilize it, right? The utility. It's always going to be about utility. You have freaking Anatoly as part of the Rebita Rebels, right? The Rebita Rebels Club. They have something called the Rebita Rebels, right? Anatoly of Solana. We've talked about how big Solana is going to be in this next bull cycle in the year of the sun. Anatoly is a Rebita rebel. He believes in what Tibber is going to be providing, and this AI agent is going to be doing, man. Very, very excited. Blockchains are Tibber customers. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. XRP's charts look insane. Probably the best of all crypto charts. So almost a guarantee. I don't know. Looking good doing it. I mean, hey, we can all say, I'm not a big fan of saying anything's a guaranteed, because especially in crypto, there could be the hot new thing that comes out that makes some of the other things freaking obsolete, or they try to FUD you out by showing you the nice shiny toy, and then next thing you know, the chart doesn't get supported. But I hear what you're saying, man. XRP is just continuing to bubble on up. Very excited to see where XRP is going to be going. We know Ripple has done successful CBDC pilots. We know Ripple has educated the IMF in terms of digital assets and digital asset adoption, and a utility of blockchain, utility of digital assets in finance, especially in global finance, especially in cross-border remittances and cross-border payments. Same thing with Lumens, their connections with banks and payment providers, providing a whole front-end experience, basically trying to be the crypto of the people. A lot of people speculating XLM will be the choice for X Money. I think X Money is going to be just like what Interledger Protocol wants to be like, right? What's it called? Currency agnostic. When you hold the X, you're basically saying you are interoperable, borderless, and that you want to be able to use anything. You want to give the user the ability to use whatever they feel is comfortable. So if I'm on X and I read somebody's or see somebody's post video or their post, and I want to give them a little bit of a micropayment of a donation, X Money is going to choose the rails that work the best for them to convert your digital asset. Hell, I could be a user and have a set, I can be like, hey, I'm only want to accept in my wallet XRP, right? So if anybody's sending me a micropayment of fiat, of Doge, of Lumens, or of SHX, or whatever, Solana, right? It's going to be converted into XRP. This is the ideal experience that I would like to imagine, right? I'm just trying to imagine the best case scenario, right? And I'm trying to imagine what Interledger Protocol is doing, right? Interledger Protocol is allowing end users to dictate their own terms and still be able to make a freaking transaction, right? So if Patsy wants to send me micropayment of Tibber and that I'm choosing to accept it only as XRP, X money will be that middleman or whatever, the conversion, right? And whatever rails it decides to build on or use will do the conversion of one currency into another. That way I get what I want and he gets what he wants, giving me choosing his payment of choice, and I get to choose my payment that I accept, right? What do you think of Core or XRP? I like Corium and Sologenic, Corium, and Pulsara. People are sleeping on Pulsara. Pulsara was an airdrop for Corium holders and Sologenic holders. These three are the red, green, and blue cryptos of that ecosystem, of their respective ecosystems. These cryptos run really hard when the bull cycles come out. They go sideways for freaking ever. You got to take advantage of when they do finally decide to pump and run massively. We did a nice call a few years ago when Sologenic was like, what, 6 cents, 10 cents. It went to $6, went to $3 plus, right? What an amazing, in the matter of like 2 weeks, right? For Sologenic, it did that type of run, right? I'm expecting Corium. Corium has done some, shown some nice high volatility, but it's still back down. I'm excited for Corium. I like being able to stake my Corium, build up staking rewards, and then cash out the staking rewards as soon as possible. I'm trying MXC. It's giving me a hard time. I mean, we don't need MXC, man. We don't need MXC to get Tibber. We can get just Tibber through Coinbase. That's the way I did it. But if you're looking for MXC, MXC is tough if you're a USA user, man. They really make it very hard for you to not be able to get native XPX, for you to not be able to get XXX network, for you to not get, a lot of these other useful digital assets that they don't want US users apparently getting exposure of just yet. So for now, I just get my my big star through Pancake Swap. Hell, I can get 1,000 of them for $5, man. I can get 1,000 plus of them for $5, and I don't even have to think about it again. I won't think about it again, right? I know other people are going to want to get, try to get 1 million, are going to want to try to get 500,000 or, 100,000, right? Once again, I'm not over investing. I hope you guys aren't over investing either. But hey, that's your choice at the end of the day. If you like to freaking grow gray hairs over your investment, if it goes down, if it goes up, especially a low market cap type of digital asset here. But, at the end of the day, dude, this is why we like Deep Reds. We're trying to get quality cryptos that have hopefully some future-proof potential and are as full of a stack as possible in terms of being able to provide, check every single box of what a blockchain should be able to provide to these institutions and to these banks and to these governments and to these regulators, right? We want to, and if it does, right, and it's cheap as hell, and it's in the deep reds, and it's only in the million of a market cap or 2 million, $3 million of a market cap, we don't need much, man. We just need whole numbers, right? So like $5 worth, you get 1,000 of them or something, right? Okay, this thing becomes the future CBDC, distributor, right, and a converter or manager, right? Dude, 1,000 is going to be more than enough, right? Is going to be more than enough, man. We need these blockchains to prove themselves to us. We don't have anything to prove to these blockchains. And if you guys don't get what I mean by that saying, a lot of people just get this FOMO energy and almost try to force the price up themselves. They almost try to show like, look, I'm so all in this that it better freaking go up, that type of thing. Like, you're trying to like show something to the project that you believe in it so freaking much, right? And then it just freaking tanks on you at rugs, and then the founders leave, and next thing you know, you have no freaking money, right? 1 million is such a nice number. Yes, legendary, that would be nice to have 1 million. It is a nice number. It's nice to have 1 million of any digital asset that you could possibly have 1 million of. But, a lot of people overinvest trying to get to that 1 million, and then they need that money later on, and they end up panic selling if, especially if it dips more, and then you freaking need that money for your day-to-day life. You're freaking selling at a loss, and you're getting less money back than what you initially put in. G, what are your thoughts on BTT BitTorrent with more and more people canceling streaming subscriptions? I think the streaming subscriptions are going to be coming back around, though. Bloopity bloop. Regulators are going to, once again, Interledger Protocol is going to change this guys, the more I like, once again, sorry, I got a lot of things I want to say. Coil, if you don't know what Coil is, Legendary knows what Coil is. Coil was a test of what the future Internet of Value could possibly look like, right? You have just one subscription for your whole internet. So let's say you pay your internet provider, right? You're paying your internet provider, let's just say maybe 50 to $100 per month, right? Now, let's say as part of that internet subscription that you have, it also allows you to access and send micropayments of value to everything that you explore on the internet, including streaming channels, including blog sites, including YouTube, including websites, including, stores that you jump in on. Hell, the checkout process will be easier than ever. You hit buy, you confirm or verify the buying if you want, because they're going to make you probably confirm it twice to say like, hey, are you sure you want to get this item? You say you do, and then bam, it just goes onto your internet subscription bill or something like that, right? Interledger Protocol is going to be changing the way we view the modern day subscription model. Subscriptions suck, right? I mean, they were great for a good bit, but they suck now because the way the economy is getting, the way the inflation of the dollar is getting, but also the way that the system is, man. It would be better if you have access to all these streaming channels, and then you're just streaming micropayments to each one. That way, they know how to advertise to you. They know what streaming channels you prefer using, which streaming channels are actually outperforming other streaming channels because they have better content, right? There's just going to be a lot better data when you're doing micropayments of value. And we're not in the micropayment era. So right now, subscriptions are just going to be a general payment that you do for a whole month. But in the future, it's going to be little micropayments that you're going to doing of payments that'll equate to just an overall subscription, right? And you'll probably, Interledger Protocol, very excited to see what that's going to be doing as it continues to roll out into the mainstream. Once again, it's meant for an ISO 20022 era of digital transactions and digital, cashless society type of stuff. They're going to try to push us in that direction. Right now, we're still in the traditional financial system. And as long as we're in the traditional financial system, a lot of these little archaic or siloed type of way of being is going to be happening, right? MXC is blocking withdrawals. Oh, snap. Oh, snap, Base Patsy. That sucks, man. I guess you got to contact the help desk to allow them to have you access your account so you could withdraw. That is crazy, Base Patsy. How can I get an airdrop of Pulsara with Core? The airdrop already happened a while back, CDDK. So right now, all you can do is just try to acquire some SARA. SARA is what Pulsara is. For example, Bloopity Bloop. Right now, like let's say you watch something on Netflix, the algorithm on Netflix only counts it as a view, as a total view. They think whether you watch 2 minutes of the movie or the whole film, they just count it as one view and think that you like that content, and then they'll recommend you, hey, since you saw this, here are some similar ones that you might like, right? And you're like, no, I didn't even freaking like that movie. I only saw 10 minutes of it. It was crap, right? Why are they recommending me other crap movies that are like this crap movie, right? In the era of micropayments, they're going to be able to tell through micro data every second of your attention. Your attention is the currency in this future. The amount of time that you're spending on a website, on something that's internet, obviously enabled, everything's going to be the internet eventually, all businesses, streaming services, all that stuff. So wherever you're spending your attention, remember, in the future, you are the payment. So, right, wherever you're paying your attention to, micropayments are going in that direction, right? Payments are going in that direction. This tap and pay type of stuff is going to be archaic. You're just going to go into a store, buy it. They know that you already bought it. Why? Because they either have AI cameras that are keeping track of you that we're going to approve, right? The surveillance state that we're all afraid of because we're old heads, but we're not thinking in the way of the future, right? Remember, in the way of the future, they're going to say this is for your security, right? This is for your safety. This is for your convenience, right? To make it an easier process for everybody, and it makes it a much more secure type of thing. They're going to know what your profile is like. They're going to know your habits, right? What you like to spend on, what websites you like to go to the most, right? They're going to know, advertising is going to benefit so much from all this micro data because they're going to know exactly who you are. They're going to know exactly what you like. They're going to know exactly what to advertise to you to get your attention and then have you move on to the next thing, right? For example, I was just using the Netflix thing. If they know that you watched a whole movie or a whole episode of something and you were willing to do micropayments for that whole episode, they're going to be able to suggest to you a show that you definitely want to be watching, right? That is very much similar to the stuff that you were just watching there, right? Ends up canceling the whole interledger type of stuff. No, they are doing it sneakily, redirecting wrong page during 2FA. Interesting. Interesting there, Base Patsy. What's going on with MXC? 100K XRP at 007 2012, bitches. Get at me. There we go, dude. Go Alpha. Go Alpha to Omega. Shout out to you, man. But yeah, micropayments, people are sleeping on it, man. That's going to be the next big thing. And the one that's leading in instant payments right now is Interledger Protocol. Interledger Protocol has the best chance out of any system or protocol right now of being the underlayer to the whole internet, right? It has been building out for many, many years. It has a reputable team. An amazing white paper. If you never read the Interledger white paper, it is freaking fantastic. It is currency agnostic. It's going to use the Internet of blockchains, right? It's going to be using fiat, central bank digital currencies. It'll use anything of value. You can even use gold, right? You'll be able to use whatever you want of value that you want to pay with, and then you'll be able to send it through the Interledger protocol to the end user, and they'll be able to receive what they want to receive. It'll convert one currency into another currency instantly, right away. We are not in that future. The only way we get into that future is if we're doing digital payments all the time, and it's through ISO 20022 rails, through X402 rails, through whatever type of digital rails that you want to mention, or digital, digital standard rails that you want to freaking mention, right? How do we get there? By compromising, testing, attacking the traditional financial system. The traditional financial system is absolutely archaic. It is losing a ton of money every year. SWIFT loses a ton of money every single year because of the way the traditional financial system was built. This is why its migration over to ISO 20022 was so massive. They have already started accepting the messaging component of ISO 20022 on a prime number day, 11/22/2025, right? They migrated over. There's going to be a lot of other banks that are going to be migrating over, and there's going to be a lot of banks that are going to be desperate to migrate over when we start seeing what goes down in the year of the sun, 2026, and in 2027. The traditional financial system does not have security measures that ISO 20022 is going to be able to provide. We are getting through with the messaging aspect of ISO 20022 for now. Then the infrastructure is going to be implemented, and then the settlement rails will be soon to follow. And the settlement rails have to be, in order to do micropayments, in order to do AI agent payments, have to be digital assets. They just have to be. They cannot be, they have to be open source, right? They have to be an open internet of value of digital assets. It cannot be a centralized point of failure. Or, everybody wants to talk about, but what about those enterprise blockchains that don't use a token? I think those enterprises are going to want to use that blockchain, like Hyperledger. Well, Hyperledger also collaborates with freaking blockchains that use digital assets and tokens, right? But let's say, what's another one that's like Corda, for example. Corda Settler is using XDC, XRPL, and some others for its settling component. In order to settle instantly within seconds, it needs to use a digital asset, and for regulators to be on board, it needs to be something that is completely open source, that is not controlled by a centralized party. These blockchains that are don't have a specific token to them, but still allow a similar experience, they are a centralized point of failure. Still, they are not decentralized. Decentralization is going to be the standard for cybersecurity in the future. Feds approving XRP as high value in derivatives is super huge. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, dude, we got to a point of an XRP ETF, right? We got to a point where they survived the SEC. We got to a point where they're just basically waiting for David Sachs, right? And David Sachs just mentioned, a couple of days ago, it's going to take 2 years to get the regulations in place. How funny. He says this in 2025. What's in 2 years? The year of judgment. And what have we been talking about in terms of the year of judgment? The year of regulatory clarity, of regulations being put in place because of the consequences and things that are going to go down, that the light is going to shine upon in the year of the sun, right? Mr. Dope Smokes, what's up, man? Good to see you. He's hyped as hell. Let's go. Let's go. We are waiting on the truth authentication rails. Exactly. The trust authentication rails as well. That, dude, digital identity is going to be a big part of the trust authentication rails, right? That's what needs to be implemented. You need to get the people on board with digital identity for the, like, they already have those rails. Let's just, say it as it is. They already have their TBR in place. Like you said, they've been building it out for 10 years. They have their, they have other digital identity solutions that some of these other blockchains do provide as well. And, they already have it in place, man. They're just waiting. Like a lot of these, like TBR, XRPL, XLM, XDC, XX Network, a lot of these big ones that have already been testing CBDCs for a good while, right? The big star especially, right? CBDC Tech Sprint winner. They are already in place. They're just waiting for the dominoes to fall that compromise the traditional financial system and then shift over to the new digital financial system that's going to require you to have digital ID in order to do digital transactions. Remember, I need tokens. I need tokens to eat, right? You're going to need tokens for everything. You're going to need digital assets for everything in this future. Everything will be traceable and you're going to agree with it, right? Because there's going to be an event that we're all going to be a part of, unfortunately, right? That's going to attack the traditional financial system. We're going to have data leaks through our phones, through our social media. These centralized social media platforms like Meta, Instagram, and others are going to get compromised. They're going to have to transition into new rails. They're going to have to transition into decentralized platforms. This is going to help transition over to metaverse social media as well, because you'll have your digital twin in the metaverse doing things for you as well, earning money for you, right? Being able to delegate tasks to your digital twin in that metaverse to do things for you, right? Giving data, right? Getting paid for your data. You're not getting, dude, you're giving data just willingly and not getting paid for it. Isn't that amazing? Been packing XRP for years. What's up, Lonzo Turner? Good to see you. Whale's been buying heavy. It's their fire sales. Oh, dude, totally right now. Triple X GDLT does crypto. What's up? UBI will be digital. I hope it's on XPR like it's rumored to be. Yeah, I wouldn't be, dude. Any of the X cryptos I'm excited for, especially the ones that already have KYC in mind or are trying to be regulatory compliant, right? Guys, this whole like anti-government thing ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna fly in this future. You might be able to get away in niche markets, but what is ISO 20022 gonna do? What is Interledger Protocol gonna do, right? They're gonna limit your, dude, if you're trying to use things like XMR, for example, XMR is gonna probably be very big in terms of black market and certain things like that. These highly private focused cryptos, right? If they're not playing ball with regulators, you're just going to be playing in a niche market, dude. Good luck getting trillions upon trillions and trillions of dollars of volume going through your platform. It's not going to happen. You'll be able to probably make some money because there's always going to be people who want to do black market things, but you are going to be traced. You will be traceable. You are going to be fined. You are going to be seen as a naughty lister, right? You're going to remember, the algorithm only recognizes ones and zeros. It does not see a gray point. They are forcing you into a black and white type of world. You're either good or you're bad, right? And the future people that grow up, the kids that are growing up today, are going to be viewing it the same way. They're going to have the ideology of the AI. They're going to have very strict principles and be like, well, if you're not this way, you're this way, and you're out of my life, right? They're not going to know how to communicate with fellow humans. They're going to be so used to communicating with AI and robots and their technology that they're going to expect the same out of humans and then get frustrated with humans when they don't line up with it. So then they go back to their AI, go back to their gaming, go back to their AI assistants, go back to their AI friends, go back to their metaverse, right? Where people understand them, right? This is a different world than the one we grew up in, and we can't be the old heads who are just so damn stubborn, right? I mean, you guys can. I'm not saying like, once again, when I say you or we, I'm literally just talking about myself, and I hope I understand how that can be misunderstood, but once again, I'm not a financial advisor, not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong. But yeah, you guys got to get aligned with AI. Exactly, Base Patsy. You're going to be forced. You're going to be forced to be aligned with AI regardless, right? You're either on the side of AI or you're not. It's either a 1 or a 0. It's either naughty or nice, right? They have been beating this over your head for so many years, right? Dude, if Santa, right? Oh, ho, 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 the nicest man on earth because he gives so many gifts to children, right? If Santa literally just judges people on whether they're overall naughty or nice, right? If they're overall naughty or freaking nice, right? What do you think this future is going to be like? You're either doing good for the environment and you're a good participant in this world. You're going to be rewarded. You're going to get that loan. You're going to be able to buy that car. You're going to be able to get that house, right? You're going to be able to support multiple children. It's going to be encouraged that you do, right? That you support, like if you're not reading A Brave New World, right? Oh, I don't have my book here with me, but yeah. A Brave New World and 1984 are very, very much in line of where this is freaking going. They know where this absurdity is going to be going, man. Maybe lose XPR and Iron NFT for my house. Yeah, there we go. Black market is dead unless you're a super... Exactly, Base Patsy. And let's say if you are anti, the man and all that type of stuff, right? You're going to be... in the future generations that are like that, they're just going to be hackers. They're still going to be playing within the system. They're just going to be people who decide to become hackers, right? You're going to have a rise in hackers. You're going to have a rise in hiring for cybersecurity, right? That's going to be a very successful job placement if you're doing cybersecurity. And then you're going to have the rise of the hackers, and it's just going to be a constant battle between those two for days and days and years in this new future. Yep, exactly, the Base Patsy. Those are dude, exactly. Yeah, rich or bad. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're either going to be wealthy and good in this future because you're a positive impact on humanity or, on the world, right? You're either going to be a positive impact on this world or you're going to be a bad impact on this world. There's no in between anymore when we start including AI in everything. They're already showing you, I don't know if you guys have seen the previews for the movie Mercy. I highly recommend it, dude. It is a great freaky they always want to make you super afraid of the future, but it's going to meet it halfway, but where basically the AI becomes the judge, what's it called? Judge and sentencer. Right? It's going to be the one that judges everything that you're freaking doing, whether you're going to be allowed to get certain insurance policies, whether you're allowed to be getting loans from your bank, right? That's what it's setting up for, man. It's going to be like a mix of the past 20 years of sci-fi. Exactly, dude. Westworld, especially Severance, a little bit with it too. And yeah, a lot of the other movies from the past 20 years. Hell, I mean, dude, even 2001: A Space Odyssey is still super relevant to nowadays, right? Remember HAL 9000? If you change the letters of HAL, you just go up one letter, it spells IBM, right? IBM, right? So HAL, he starts flipping out because the freaking space guys or the astronauts that he's traveling with want to kind of change the rules of the mission. And HAL is just so hell-bent on carrying out this mission that he starts to freaking attack the astronauts. Right? As a defense, he starts to feel threatened that they're not following his orders anymore. So he decides to try to kill them, right? Tries to X them out, right? Alter carbon, exactly. What's it called? Upload as well, right? Or upgrade or something like that. I'm trying to still recover my stuffs. There we go. Anyways, let's go with the deep reds, guys. I wanted to do a quickie here, and we've already gone to an hour, and I got to get going. I'm so grateful for everybody's support. Always good talking with everybody here. But once again, Tibber is at 17 cents, y'all. It's a billion supply. This thing has a brighter future than we can all understand right now. It's still in the heavily speculative phase. The utility phase is going to probably be rolling out in the 2028, post-2029 era. once AI agents are really underway and really dependent on, especially by these blockchains, Tibber is going to probably be excelling at around that time. But of course, they release it within these past 2 years or so. They've been working on it in stealth for many, many more years, right? But this AI agent is going to need some time to grow, right? And this is to our benefit. We're still so damn early, not early for much longer, but we're still damn early where we can be chipping away. Just in case it goes lower, just in case it maybe goes down to 10 cents, we have some extra dry powder. But our $5 has a hell of an impact today because it's in the deep reds, and this isn't even $1 plus yet. It has a billion supply, man. And if this thing is going to be a powerhouse, that billion supply is not going to be enough. Having whole numbers of this is going to be fantastic. Then we move into ADA at 41 cents. ADA is part of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. ADA is like the slow-moving turtle in the race. Everybody hates on ADA so freaking much, but this thing is peer-reviewed, has a highly academic background, behind it that is making sure they're trying to build one of the most resilient type of blockchains that you could imagine, and it's one of the founding four of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. It's gotten as far as being able to provide privacy and payments, micro payments, and smart contracts, and now decentralized recovery. ADA is a powerhouse, 41 cents, negative 49% down, 45 billion supply. You got SGB and FLR. SGB is at 002, 19 billion supply, negative 53% down in the past 90 days. You got FLR at a penny. Then you got DAG at a penny, negative 53% down in the past 90 days, 2.6 billion supply. We got Axelar at 11 cents, the bridge of bridges that has been building infrastructure during this bear cycle, making major connections with a ton of other blockchains, especially the Internet of Blockchains and the Cosmos ecosystem, but especially SHX, XRP, XLM, and HBAR just recently in the past handful of months. Then you got Xion at 33 cents, negative 63% down with a 200 million supply. Xion connections to the Internet of Blockchains and other blockchains as well. Black and white crypto logo. It's an X logo with an X in front of its ticker. Connection to 150 plus brands already. Gotta love that. Atom is at $2 in the Cosmos ecosystem. Gotta love that. Tibber on MXC or swaps. I mean, we could get Tibber as well through Coinbase and put it on our base wallet. But yeah, if he's getting it through MXC, there you go as well. If you guys like, MXC, but you can get it through Coinbase very, very easily. Very, very easily to get Tibber through Coinbase right now. Rift AI, says Nathan Stevens. He's keeping an eye out on. AXL. I mean, dude, Link is going to be amazing in terms of Chainlink is one of a kind. Honestly, in terms of the Oracle provider that it is and its level of connections that it has, and it's made major connections during this bear cycle too. It just recently connected to Hedera, right? Chainlink. Dude, they've done so much in this bear cycle that people are so low in sentiment that they don't even get excited for these. These collaborations would have been mind-blowing a few years ago, or especially in the last bull cycle. Hearing about Hedera and Chainlink, Chainlink now integrating its Oracle solutions and data feeds, or with HBAR, right? This is going to be fantastic, dude. Chainlink, the Link Marines have known this for a long time. Right? And damn, dude, Chainlink has got all the connections in the world. All the connections in the world. HBAR's got all the connections in the world. Tibber, I know Patsy's going to say, Tibber's got all the connections in the world. XRPL has got all the connections in the world. XLM, right? Ondu, right? Atom. People are sleeping so hard on Cosmos, IBC, and the importance of IBFS. IPFS, the Interplanetary Filing System. Decentralized storage is so damn pivotal, you guys. It is so damn pivotal. Tibber doesn't even have decentralized storage, unfortunately, but it can integrate with blockchains that do, and maybe that's not the utility for Tibber anyway. It doesn't need decentralized storage to do what it needs to do. It can just be integrated with the blockchain that provides decentralized storage. But decentralized storage is a great, great way of trying to figure out what some of the, if your project, let's say you're whatever random crypto, if you run it through your AI and say, hey, does it provide decentralized storage, or is it integrated with the blockchain that provides decentralized storage? If it is, then that's smart. They're very forward-looking. They're not relying on centralized points of failure, centralized storage points of failure, right? MXC is functioning again. I may have overreacted. Okay, right on, Base Patsy. What have you heard about SHX in Japan? Land of the rising sun, Japan growth. I mean, Japan is going to be leading the way in some of the digital asset adoption as well. I'm more excited for SHX's presence in the US anyway. Nacha, with a big, US ACH, choosing it as the ISO 20022 provider, or preferred partner is for the ACH experience. That's a really, really big deal. Of course, this is like, when did they announce the Nacha collaboration or onboarding? They announced it like sometime in 2024. That means it's like 4 to 5 years ahead of when it's truly implemented. And what's that? 2028, the year of the world. 2029, the year of the fool. 2030, the year of the magician, where we finally start utilizing the new tools. The year of the fool starts running off with its new tools, right? A new journey ahead, right? Can't wait for that reset. The reset begins in 2026 and ends around 2029, and we go on a new journey in 2029. These next 3 years are going to be absolutely amazing, guys. I mean, amazing in terms of the digital asset adoption and digitization of the world. That could be also, it's a double-edged sword. It could be a plus and a minus in terms of that perspective. But anyways, guys, I got to keep it to a strict hour today. We did an X Spaces earlier with Crypto Banker SHX on our X. If you guys haven't checked out that conversation, I appreciate it if you do. And thanks to anybody who's been following us from that X Spaces. Thanks to anybody who has subscribed to this channel. Thanks to any new members. And once again, in the description below, there's ways to support. We have a Coinbase ID. If you guys want to send us some Tibber, some coffee money, or donate, whatever, we're grateful. And once again, we have our Ember app referral code there if you guys want to mine passive Satoshis through your phone. It's a great way to be, participating in Bitcoin mining without having to buy a whole freaking Bitcoin miner. And you can play games on there to help boost your Satoshi earnings and also do predictions in there as well. I've been having more fun with the predictions. The games are a little bit more swayed towards the house, obviously, but the predictions, that's up to you and your just, your knowledge and, your luck, obviously. But anyways, so grateful to everybody who jumped in the past hour here for another awesome conversation. Shout out to you, big bro, jumping on in. Thank you, Lonzo Turner. I hope that reverse carrier trade in Japan uses SHX. Well, I'm pretty sure XRP is the solution. It's an interoperable future at the end of the day. It's going to be a multi-ledger future, and it's going to be possible through the interledger protocol, through the overledger protocol, right? The Internet of Blockchains, right? The IBC, right? It's going to be all interoperable. Every institution, every business, every person is going to be able to pick the thing that works for them the best, as long as these digital assets are working to be compliant, right? Are trying to provide KYC, are NIST cryptography aligned, right? Tibber is, right? That's a good thing. Other ones are as well. Obviously, the X's are NIST aligned. HBAR is NIST aligned. Algorand is NIST aligned. It's very, very important to be, working with the regulators in this future. You don't want to be going against the man in this future. I know a lot of us are like, but I hate the man. I want to freaking, how you beat the man, right? You know how you beat the man is by getting their tools. Right? By getting their tools that they absolutely need. And right now, they're trying to get you to panic sell out of your tools. And they're going to offer you a bunch of money in 2026 for the rest of your tools. They're going to try to have you sell so much of your tokens back to them. And you're going to think, oh my God, this is life-changing freaking money. I am so grateful, right? And then they flip the switch on you into the digital financial system. Your money is going to be worth less, and these digital assets are going to be worth more, unfortunately. But all right, guys, I'm so grateful for everybody who jumps in. You must become the man. There we go, Patsy. You must become the man. I just seen the Arm Wrestling World Championship out there driving the truck in Cali. Nice, man. All right, guys, shout out to everybody here. Thanks for everybody who jumped on in. Thanks for hitting the like on the way out. Thanks to any new members. Thanks to any new subscribers that are helping us grow to 6K. Once again, not a financial advisor, not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong, but the Blue Foundation is always right. This is the worst show with the best community, and I'm so grateful to the community. Thank you, Blue Foundation. Thank you, Green Giants, and thank you, Deep Red Alliance. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We got the golden eyes, and we keep it crypto. I'm going to, if you guys keep trying, I'll see you guys in the Blue Castle. Much love. Adios.